Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Adam from Spiritus Systems, and today we're going to talk about the Mutant Pouch. So the Mutant Pouch was designed to kind of fill a gap for our split chest rig, or the 34 Alpha. If you have one, you might be thinking that maybe there's just not enough space for you to hold some of those critical items that you need. And this pouch has been in the works for a while to kind of solve some of those issues. So it's a MOLLE pouch that has 4 columns of mountable surface, so it's going to take up 4 slots on your 34 Alpha, which will give you this pouch and 2 additional slots for a magazine pouch. This pouch is pretty unique because it allows you to store things parallel to the body instead of perpendicular. So traditionally, you would stack things off the body in all directions if we're thinking about plate carriers. With this, we're going to actually use a lot of that unusable space in between pouches to store items. The biggest feature of the pouch is the GP pocket. So the GP pocket has 2 forms of closure. It has a buckle here, and it also has Velcro. And the reason why we went with 2 forms of closure is that if you want the security of Velcro and having the additional security of the buckle, that's fine. But if you are working in an environment where you have to get into this pouch often, but you want it to be quiet, you can always silence the Velcro by putting another piece of Velcro on here, and then you just have a clip closure on it. The buckle also acts as a tensioner, so if you have a lot of weight in the pocket, you can tighten it down and really pull that weight towards your body, which makes it a little more manageable. The pocket itself was designed around military BB batteries. So if you're familiar with BB batteries, you'll know that there's 2 sizes that are primarily used by ground forces, and they'll both fit inside this pouch. So if you are using an extended comms package for your radio, the battery will fit, the cabling will fit, and then you can have your radio in the radio pouch on this Mutant pouch. That way it's all just kind of self-contained in one pocket. If you're not using it in that capacity, this is just a GP pocket, essentially. So it'll fit, your night vision, it'll fit med kits, rangefinders, whatever, kind of stuff you would put into a GP pocket. The GP pocket is lined with loop Velcro on both sides, as well as it does have a grommet on the bottom for water drainage. If we turn it around on this side, there's actually an elastic wall separating the GP pocket and the radio pocket. And that's kind of a unique feature, but it actually provides a little bit of tension on whatever is inside the pouch. So it's gonna keep it nice and tight to the body, and it's gonna pull this outer wall here, this side of the pouch. It's gonna pull it towards the side that is mounted to the chest rig. And that's just gonna help, again, with keeping those loads nice and tight to the body. On the front here, well, it could be the back as well, but this side of the pouch, there is a radio sleeve. And so, this will fit most military radios. I think it fits everything that's currently available, but it has a little elastic piece that's gonna keep the radio nice and tight. It also has an overstrap here, so you'll be able to strap the radio in, and you can adjust it either from the tri-glide down below, the ladder lock buckle, to get tension on it. You can also adjust the knot up here on the top on this shock cord to get that perfect fit for however tall your radio is, which makes it really easy to stow different types of antenna configurations and stuff like that. On the opposite side, we have 2 columns of MOLLE. This is just a great place to mount, pouches that are a little more slim and things that maybe aren't gonna weigh a ton. If you start really putting a lot of weight out here, it's gonna pull on the pouch. It might work, but it also might get kind of floppy, so just be cognizant of that. We also have holes drilled in here. That way you can route shock cord through there. Our universal mounting kits work really well, so you can just basically lash things to the backside here, tourniquets or whatever, head nets, stuff like that. So we really tried to maximize space with this pouch, right? By going kind of to the left and right of the pouch, we have essentially eaten up that weird kind of, it's like this weird Pythagorean thing we have going on in between 2 pouches on the body. If you can imagine, if they're flat, they're mounted right up next to each other. But if we start mounting this on a circumference, we end up with these kind of wedges. It's like a triangle that essentially there's nothing there. It's just a void. And so at Spiritus, we like to design to kind of try to fill that void with equipment where we can. So the Mark V is a good example. It has mounting surfaces on either side, and this is also a good example of that, where we can, you can essentially take another pouch and you can mount it into that space that would normally be unusable. And likewise with the radio, that's actually, it's filling a void as well, just organically to the pouch. So I have a chest rig over here that is set up in more of a fashion, just to give you an idea of how the pouch might look. The pouch is ambi, so it goes on either side. There's only one pouch. There's not a left and a right pouch. There's just one. So depending on where and how you wear things is, going to be, determined by how you mount the pouch to your kit. So this side right here would be the left side of my body, if that makes sense. And you can see I have my radio mounted in the radio pocket, which is where I prefer to wear it. I like to have it kind of up front and closer to the front side of my body so that I can get to it. I can pull it out if I need to. I can adjust things on it. So that's how I have it mounted here. And then on the back side of it, I have a Flashbang pouch that we make, but I actually have a tourniquet stored in there. But it's just to give you kind of an idea of how you can utilize that. So on this, on this left side of the split rig, the radio is forward, the radio pocket's forward, the MOLLE is to the rear. If we look at the right side, it's just the opposite. We have the radio pocket towards the rear, and we have the MOLLE towards the front. So depending on where you have it, it's just going to give you options. Some guys like to have their radio further back, so it's going to work well on this side. I have a little 500 milliliter Nalgene bottle in here, and it actually ends up working pretty well. It keeps it nice and tight. It's enough water for me for just to take out and sip as I'm on a movement or something, but not so much that it's not a giant 1 liter amount of water. And then on the front here, I just have a battery case just mounted into the MOLLE, just to give you an idea of how you can utilize that space. And you can see it is consuming that space in between pouches that just kind of naturally is there when you start stretching this over a circumference. And then these GP pockets. On this side, I just have night vision mounted in there, just tied down to one of those loops. You can see it's just tucked in there. These are DTNVSs for size reference. It's gonna fit DTNVS, it's gonna fit 31s, it's obviously gonna fit a PVS 14. PVS 15 will fit in there, and I do wear a set of PVS 15s, and I do use this pouch when I wear them, but they're a little tighter. It is not gonna fit our night vision insert and the night vision in there, just for reference. On this side, I have it packed full of, it's just a med kit. So there's just a full IFAC just kind of mounted inside of there, just for size reference again. So yeah, that's basically it. That's the Mutant Pouch, and designed specifically for the 34 Alpha chest rig, but quite frankly, it can go onto any MOLLE platform. It can work great on a cummerbund, on a plate carrier as well, or other chest rigs that are out there. So that's it, guys. I appreciate you watching the video, and we'll see you next time.